Questions 11 through 20 on the 2006 Grade 10 Cayley Math Contest. Triangle ABC has side lengths 6, 8, and 10 as shown. Each of the side lengths of triangle ABC is increased by 50%, forming a new triangle DEF. The area of DEF is. This triangle ABC has side lengths 8, 6, and 10. And we're going to increase each of those by 50%. So this now becomes 12, this becomes 9, and this becomes 15. And this is still a Pythagorean relationship because it's a right angle. So they want the area of this new triangle. All right, no problem. 1/2 base times height. The base is 9 and the height is 12. So that looks like 9 times 6, which is 54. And therefore, number 11, the answer is E. From 7:45 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., Jim drove a distance of 84 kilometers at a constant speed. What was the speed in kilometers per hour? Our formula is speed equals distance over time. Our distance, they tell you, is 84 kilometers. And our time, we have to put that in hours. All right, so let's see here, 7:45 to 9:30, that's 1 hour and 45 minutes. So that's 105 minutes. Divide that by 60 to get the number of hours, and that is 1.75. So that's what I have to put here, 1.75. 84 divided by 1.75 is 48. So number 12, the answer is E. If x plus 1 is equal to y minus 8 and x is equal to 2y, then the value of x plus y is. X plus 1 is equal to y minus 8. And x is equal to 2y. So I'll just substitute that in here. So instead of this x, I'll put in 2y plus 1 is equal to y minus 8. And solving, we get y is equal to minus 9, I believe. So x is equal to 2y, so x is minus 18. And therefore x plus y is minus 9 minus 18, and that is minus 27. So 13, the answer is D. If x is equal to negative 3, which of the following expressions has the smallest value? All right, let's plug away here. So minus 3 squared minus 3, the first one, and that looks like 9 minus 3, which is 6. Next one, minus 3 all squared, minus 6 all squared is 36. Minus 3 all squared, that's 9. Minus 3 plus 3 all squared, that looks like 0 squared, which is 0. Minus 3 squared plus 3 is 9 plus 3, which is 12. And of these numbers, the smallest is 0, and therefore the answer is D. In the multiplication shown, P and Q each represent a single digit, and the product is 32951. What is the value of P plus Q? 3, 9, and P multiplied by Q3, and that all equals 32951. All right, let's talk about this. So the very first step, of course, in this multiplication, if you're doing it the long way, is you would multiply 3 by P, right? 3P. And 3P equals 1, but obviously 3 times P cannot equal 1. So it equals something that has 1 as its units digit. Well, you think about that for a second. What could P be? Well, P must be 7, because 3 times 7 is 21, and that's why you got the 1 here. 1 is the units digit of 21, correct? So there you go. With a little bit of thought, we figured out what P is. Now to figure out Q, the simplest way is just to do it like this. 397 is that top number. multiplied by some number Q3, well, these are digits, is equal to 32951. All right, get out your calculator, do the division here, 32951 divided by 397, and when you do that, you get 83. So Q3 is 83. That means Q is equal to 8. Right? So they want you to figure out P plus Q. Okay, no problem. P plus Q is equal to 7 plus 8, which is 15. So 15, the answer is 15, and that is choice C. In 2004, Gary, or Jerry, whichever way you pronounce it, downloaded 200 songs. In 2005, Jerry downloaded 360 songs at a cost per song which was 32 cents less than in 2004. Jerry's total cost each year was the same. The cost of downloading the 360 songs in 2005 was, all right? So in 2004, he downloads 200 songs, and I'll let the cost be X, 200 songs. And then 2005, he downloads 360 songs, but this time the cost is now not X, it's X minus 32, because 32 cents less. And they tell you that these total costs are equal. So that's the mathematical equation we now need to solve. So this becomes 200x is equal to 360x minus 11520. And if you do this math, you get 160x is equal to 11520. And therefore x is equal to 72. So that's not what they want. They want you to figure out the total cost of downloading the 360 songs in 2005, which is essentially this. So to calculate that, we substitute in 72 for the value of x, and that gives me 360 times 40, and that's going to be, if you convert it to dollars, because this is going to give you an answer in cents. In dollars, it'll be exactly 144. So number 16, the answer is A. If w is a positive integer and w to the power of 3 is 9w, then w to the power of 5 is. W to the power of 3 is 9w. So divide both sides by w, and that leaves you with just w squared is equal to 9. Take the square root, and you get w is equal to 3. And they tell you that it's a positive integer, so it can't be negative 3. And then now we just figure out w to the power of 5. Well, w is 3, so 3 to the power of 5. And 3 to the power of 5 is equal to 243. So number 17, the answer is B. In a right triangle, the sum of the squares of the three sides is 1,800. The length of the hypotenuse is, all right? So we've got this triangle here. It's a right triangle. So something like this. And they tell you that these three sides, I'll call them A, B, and C. The sum of the squares, that would be A squared plus B squared plus C squared, is equal to 1800. Now, since it's a right triangle, that Pythagorean relationship, as you know, is A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Correct? So they want you to figure out the length of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is this guy, C. So how do we figure out C? Well, just look at this equation here. A squared plus B squared in the second equation is equal to C squared. So we can just substitute that in. Instead of writing A squared plus B squared, I can just write C squared, right? And then we've got plus C squared is equal to 1800. So this becomes 2C squared is equal to 1800. Divide through by 2 and you get C squared equal to 900. Take the square root and you get C is equal to 30. So number 18, the answer is D. In a bin at the Cayley convenience store, there are 200 candies. Of these candies, 90% are black and the rest are gold. After Yehudi eats some of the black candies, 80% of the remaining candies in the bin are black. How many black candies did Yehudi eat? So initially, we've got 200 candies, right? And 90% are black, so that means 180 are black. And the remaining 20 are gold. And then Yehudi eats some of these black candies. We don't know how many. So let's say he eats X. So that means after he eats X, there's 180 minus X candies remaining. And they're saying that represents 80% of the remaining candies. So the remaining candies would be 200 minus X. And that is 80%, which is 0.8. All right? So that's the mathematical equation for this question. Now let's solve this. 180 minus X would be cross multiply. 200 times 0.8 is 160 minus 0.8X. And this will be 20 is equal to, add 1 to both sides, and you get 0.2X. And therefore X is equal to 100. So that means Yehudi ate 100 candies. And therefore number 19, the answer is D. The line y is equal to negative 3/4 x plus 9 crosses the x-axis at point P and the y-axis at point Q. The point T, RS, is on the line segment PQ. If the area of triangle POQ is 3 times the area of triangle TOP, then the value of R plus S is. All right. So the first thing, of course, is we need to figure out P and Q, because those are obviously going to give us the area of that big triangle. And that's where that equation comes in. And this is really just figuring out the x and y intercepts. So first, find the y-intercept, set x to 0, and that quickly gives you y is equal to 9. So that means this is 9. So that this side is basically 9, QO or OQ, whatever. Now find the x-intercept, set y to 0, and you get the following. Bring the 3/4 over to the other side, and then x is therefore equal to 9 times 4 divided by 3, and that looks like 3 times 4, which is 12. So this distance is 12. All right, so the first thing I want to figure out is the triangle POQ area. 1/2 base times height, the base is 12, the height is 9, and that looks like 6 times 9, which is 54. All right. So they tell me that if I were to find the area of TOP, so I'll just make that triangle there. This is TOP. That is going to be related to the area that I just figured out in the following way, that POQ is 3 times the area of TOP. So that basically means that the triangle TOP, the area is 54 divided by 3, which is 18. All right? So now we have to figure out this area using our dimensions, and I'm just going to draw a height with that red line right there. So here we go. 18, which is the area of TOP, is 1/2 base times height. The base is this guy right here, 12. And the height, well, that is going to be represented in terms of either R or S. Which one? S, right? Because that is the top to bottom or vertical distance. Correct? So I've got S here, and that equals 18. So this looks like 18 is equal to 6S, and therefore S is equal to 3. All right, so we've got half the puzzle. So now we have to figure out r. How do we figure out r? Well, this point is on this line. So to figure out the other coordinate, plug it into that line. Y is equal to -3/4 x plus 9. We want to figure out r. S we already figured out was 3, so S represents the y coordinate. So put 3 here, correct? -3/4. Our x is actually represented by the letter r, so put that in there. And therefore, solving for this, we get 3/4 r is equal to 9 minus 3, which is 6. So r would be 6 times 4 divided by 3. And that looks like 2 times 4, which is 8. So finally, what they want is r plus s. So r plus s, 8 plus 3, and that is equal to 11. So number 20, the answer is C.